Just go ahead.
Hello, everybody. So glad to see you jumping on and joining us today. I am Drea, and I'm here for our live stitch out of this beautiful butterfly lace garland. Now, this design is included in the November All Access. So if you have that November issue, you already have this in your All Access, November 2020. If not, you can get this design, this collection, on our website. And remember, we have a sale right now. It's $5 off through the end of today. You can look it up on our website, AnitaGoodDesign.com, and you'll get an extra $5 off that design. So it is a fabulous, fabulous deal. Lots of different beautiful butterflies in there that are all this freestanding lace. So today I want to show you this technique. We'll stitch one out together, and I'll show you how we put the garland together and give you some great examples. Hi, everybody. Hi, Miss Vicki. I see some people jumping on. So good to see everyone here. Make sure you tell us that you're watching. Say hello in the comments. Please interact with us. We want to hear from you. We have Lauren is here with me setting up some comments and answering. So there are plenty of people to respond to you. So hi, everybody. Hi, Steve and Norma. Great to see you, ladies and gentlemen, today. Now, I do want to show you some of these butterflies. We'll be stitching one of the smaller ones today, but there are quite a few in this collection. And then here we have the assembled garland. Now, of course, it would hang a little differently, but you'll notice when we've attached these butterflies, we've attached them in a different pattern so they don't all look exactly the same. So I'll give you some good tips and tricks on how to get a great clean result like we did here. All right, looks like we've got a good crew on here. So I'm so glad to see you again. If you don't have this collection already, this is Lace Butterfly Garland. You can get this on our website. It is on sale throughout the rest of today. Just check that out on AnitaGoodDesign.com. If you have the November 2020 All Access, you already have this collection. So you are welcome to flip open that tutorial if you have your book. I have mine right here. It is on 140 and 141. So it's nice and colorful, well described in here step by step, so you can follow that along. I may not follow it exactly word for word, but I promise we'll have you stitching and excited about these lace butterflies. So in our tutorials, if you're not familiar with them, we always give you an introduction and a materials list so you can see everything that you need before you begin. And I've gone ahead and laid my tools and supplies out here, but the best part about this design, for me, all you really need is some wash away stabilizer and your hoop for whatever size. You need some thread and a matching color bobbin. The reason you want to match the color on your bobbin is so the front and the back, when that butterfly is hanging, there's not a white side, they both match. So remember, this beautiful lace butterfly garland that we'll be stitching is available on our website. Don't miss that discount. Today's the last day to get it on sale. So please, please get it. And once again, it is in November All Access. So we have a great sale for you. We've been posting some links in the comments for you so you can find it. And we are going to get started. So what I have done is I have everything pulled up on the machine. We'll be stitching out number 9. So this is butterfly 9. It is LBG 9 is its file name. And I've chosen this one because they're all beautiful, but this one is a good size for us to stitch together. So you may have already noticed when I held up that hoop, that's not a larger, it's not a 5x7 hoop. In the tutorial, we recommend a 5x7 hoop or larger because some of these larger butterflies need a larger hoop. So here's some detail. You can see here, this is why you want to match the bobbin. Now, it doesn't look terrible, but this is the back of one, and you can see the kind of grayish white here, and the front is nice and beautiful. So you don't want to detract from that butterfly by using a white bobbin unless you absolutely have to. Then you could find a marker and get rid of some of those stitches, but we suggest matching front and back. That way you get a nice clean result and everything matches. There you go. So this is the one we'll be stitching. Nice, good size, kind of a mauve color. Now I do want to show you some other fun things you can do with these. You can do all sorts of things to your preference. So we have done some brighter things, some glow-in-the-dark thread is a great idea. You can hang those up. We're not going to turn the lights out here. This one almost glows in the dark, right? Isn't that beautiful? Something different. So these can be stitched with a variety, but again, you want to match that bobbin. Now, if you are like me and like to use very different materials and make as, interesting as possible, be careful with some of those threads that have a different texture. Like there's some holographic thread that's beautiful that has almost a plasticky texture. That's not great for lace. So you want to make sure you have a thread with a nice, a regular texture, nothing too brittle or too plasticky, so you can get a beautiful result. That one's hard to miss, isn't it? I love it. All right, so for our collection, we went a little more subtle and subdued. We used some kind of sunset-inspired colors here, some oranges and pinks and purples, just very muted color palette. Now you, again, whatever colors you like or color, since they're just one, you can get a great result. So I want to show you just how easy it is to create these designs. These are so much fun. Remember, you'll start with your matching bobbin. If you missed that before, you want to make sure the front and back of your butterfly match. You'll load your design, super simple. And then all you have to do, make sure everything's threaded, and you will get started. So we're going to go ahead and start stitching this design. And we're not just going to watch it stitch. We'll have some conversation back and forth as well. So I'm going to hit go. There's no applique in these designs at all, this collection. So it is just a beautiful, beautiful freestanding lace design. So you'll see there's some underlay stitching that comes first. That way everything's nice and tight. These are digitized in such a way that they are 100% freestanding without a problem. So we want to make sure that everything is digitized appropriately here. So our freestanding designs are the only ones that you would want to be able to stitch freestanding. So make sure whenever you grab one of our lace designs that it is a true freestanding collection. This collection is absolutely freestanding.
We have a question.
Oh, we have a question. Let's see.
Right. Do you suggest using 2 layers of stabilizer with freestanding lace?
Oh, great question. I've seen a couple people ask that. So you may be able to see here, I have 2 layers of this wash away stabilizer hoop. That is my personal preference as a precaution. It will absolutely never hurt to add that extra layer. And if you don't absolutely need it, you still have that extra stability. So my other preference for freestanding lace, I'll give you a few tips. One of the things that we do here is we stitch a lot of lace and a lot of butterflies. And we sometimes like to put in as many as we can into a large hoop for designs. That works for most things. But just a personal preference to get the best possible finish, I like to use the smallest hoop possible. And the reason that is because the more open space you have in your hoop, the more movement that design is going to encounter. So if I had this in a giant 10 by 14, a huge hoop, that butterfly is going to be flipping and floating and flying the whole time it's stitching, and it may not come out completely flat and level how we intended. So 2 layers for stability is my recommendation, and then you want to stitch it in the closest hoop size to that butterfly. It won't hurt if you only have a larger hoop, but again, the less bounce, the better, for sure.
And then how do you feel about putting multiple butterflies in a larger hoop?
Again, it's a little tricky. You don't want to get a huge hoop. Maybe if you had an 8-inch or something like that and had a couple of butterflies, it really depends on how much extra space you have. As long your hoop and your tension within that stabilizer is the key to getting the perfect design. I've had recently I had a question come in from a customer that was stitching maybe a 2-inch little lace charm for one of our collections and had it in a great big hoop. And they sent me some pictures, and it was rippling. And it wasn't the design. We stitched it again, and we talked to her and worked her through it, and we found out that it was just moving too much. So if you're a perfectionist, go small.
I think it might be time for a prize.
I don't know if you heard that, but Lauren said it's time for a prize.
So type the word lace.
So if you are interested in winning this lovely mystery prize, type in the word lace, L-A-C-E. Type it in those comments. We'll give you a couple of minutes to type in lace, and then we will start drawing a prize.
I'm going to show them.
So I'm going to grab something out of my file. The first thing I have here, I have the Springtime Sparkle collection. So this is a beautiful collection that uses Mylar. It is mix and match quilting. There you go. I see those lace popping up. That's it. Keep going. We'll give you just another minute or two. This is a beautiful collection. 25 different blocks. Oops, sorry. 5 sizes each. So you can do a lot of fun stuff with here. Lace, lace, lace. Here it is. I see it. All right. We'll give you just another minute or so. Then we're going to have somebody will pick you at random for this fabulous collection. This is one of my favorites. I love a good butterfly and anything sparkly in my hands.
Nikki Perry is our winner.
Nikki Perry, this is yours. Nikki Perry, make sure you contact us. We will be in touch with you as well. Check those messages. We'll be in touch with you about how to get this beautiful collection. Nikki Perry, you're the winner. If you didn't win this time, don't worry. I have some more stuff down here hiding for you, okay? So that's our first one. We will be doing some more with a new keyword momentarily. Hello, hello to some new people that are joining us. Thank you, Jeff, for being a good sport, saying congratulations. That is the way to be. Now, I've seen a few other questions pop up as well. What size and type of needle? So when we are stitching our lace collections, and 99% of everything here at Anita Goodesign, we use a good old standard 7511. So this is exactly what I have in this machine, good old 7511 organ needle. We use the sharps here, unless we have something very different, just an unusual circumstance. That's what we run on almost everything. Now I know some of you just went, but embroidery is a lot like cooking. Your recipe may be different than ours, but as long as you enjoy your result, that's all that matters. But we try to use the 7511 for as much of our designs as possible, as many of our designs as possible, just to keep it nice and simple. Again, if you're one of those perfectionists and you want it to look nice, I would suggest popping in a new needle before you do lace, just because it's super detailed. And I don't know what I have done. I think I have moved it and made it stop. Oh, oops. That's okay. All right, there we go. So we're going to start that.
Have you ever used metallic thread before?
Metallic thread. Yes, metallic thread can work for freestanding lace. The thread that we have in right now is just regular polyester. It's Floriani. The color on this one is, I can't quite tell. Let's see. 170. It's a nice kind of cantaloupe peachy color. You can use metallic thread. I like more of a silk core. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but there are some metallic threads that are soft, that are finer. Whenever you go to look at metallic thread before you create your project, if it's the kind of metallic that you can pull it and it pops, almost like pulling a hair, that's kind of gross, but if it pops, that one is not the best for lace. You want one that's soft, that will lay nice and flat in your project. The other will work, but you might not get a true smooth effect, which is good. Now, speaking of smooth, I have a snuck-in smooth little deal that is a big surprise we haven't told you about. Are you, ladies and gentlemen, ready for this? So I have an extra fondness for butterflies. And maybe you're familiar with our collection. It is a special edition, and it is butterflies. So this special edition has some beautiful, realistic butterflies that are truly, truly beautiful. These are done on some twill or some fabric, and there are so many. There's some big ones and small ones. And this collection, just for today, I got some crazy permission to allow this collection to be on a super sale. So this special edition, Butterfly Special Edition, is normally $99. Just for today, really truly today only, it's going to be half off. You can get it for half off, so $50 for this special edition butterfly collection. Now, don't they look real? I just saw some, oh my goodness, they look real. They do, and there are these beautiful, there are tons and tons of realistic butterflies. These are just a couple that I was able to grab. There are also some small accent butterflies, and you'll see here, I stitched a couple of these out in some colors that match our garland. So they are a beautiful complement to this or to anything else. So these beautiful 3D realistic butterflies, that special edition is on super sale, half off, just for today. It's an extra perk for joining us on this live stitch along. It's only for today. And then remember, if you're interested in this lace butterfly garland, this collection is also on sale through the rest of today. These beautiful freestanding lace designs are created just with some thread and some wash away or water soluble stabilizer. So there are several different brands, whichever one works for you is great, but you do want a water-soluble stabilizer. Ours is not like a heat and gone or anything like that. It's just like a wash away, and water will take it right out. So some other little options that I have heard people use even throughout the building. We love to kind of play in our spare time when we're not working. If you wanted to, you could stitch these onto fabric. You absolutely could. You would just need to hoop whatever fabric, and this would stitch out just like your embroidery. It won't hurt it to take a freestanding design and make it regular embroidery, but remember, you can't go the other direction. Anything freestanding has to be digitized that way.
The Butterfly Special Edition was released in all access in April of 18.
Perfect. We had a few people asking the Butterfly Special Edition that I just mentioned that has these gorgeous realistic butterflies. It was in all access previously, April of 2018. So if you had all access in April 2018, you have these, go make some. And if not, make sure you grab them. Today, half off. You absolutely could do these on a shirt. Yes, ma'am. And that's with the special edition butterflies or these lace ones. You can do them on anything you can hoop. They will just, again, be attached. And whatever stabilizer would be best for the project that you're hooping, sticky back for a shirt or tearaway, whatever else, just remember your butterfly will be A-okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to check out some of these comments. Oh, somebody raises and releases monarchs. How cool. Very cool. Absolutely. All right. So I have, again, I have somebody in here with me helping answer some good questions. So if you have questions or comments, don't forget to comment or ask those things. These are absolutely the most fun designs because we've just been chatting and having fun, and it's over halfway stitched, almost finished. I haven't done a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Should they be done in felt? You could stitch them on felt if you wanted to, but remember these are designed to be freestanding, so they absolutely don't need any kind of backing or anything on them. But if you wanted to do it as a patch or something else, you surely could do it on felt if you chose. Have you used variegated thread? For sure. I like variegated thread. I like the randomness, and I like some of them that have like that kind of cross pattern because you don't know exactly what you'll get. Some variegated thread, eventually you'll get kind of a stripe, which is fun too. So I like to use, as you can see by our neon butterfly, I like to use a little bit of everything here. For the other collection, you could stitch those on felt, Miss Wendy, if you wanted to. We use twill for the background on these, just because it's nice and sturdy. But you would need a higher density kind of background because they have a lot more stitching. But as always, that tutorial walks you step by step on how to make those and tells you exactly what we use. Hello from Oregon. Hi there, Miss Karen. Mr. John, you can buy either of these collections on our website, AnitaGoodDesign.com. They are on sale, remember, just for today. So when this is over, or if you have another device, you can absolutely pull that up. Let's see, someone asked again what kind of stabilizer. We have a water soluble. I use 2 layers just to give it some extra stability. That's not absolutely essential, but I want my design to be as smooth and flat as possible. So that'll prevent any pulling or puckering, or heaven forbid it tear through if I get too excited. So we try to use 2 layers, good sharp needle, and then don't forget to match your bobbin. I have some really beautiful butterflies up here, and then when you flip them over, oops, they have kind of a gray white body. So you want to make sure to match the bobbin, that way the front and the back are the same. So any of these freestanding butterflies that you see me kind of picking up and showing, they are in this collection. I've just chosen a slightly smaller one here. That way you're not just watching it stitch all day. So we have a good mixture of variety here, good variety of goodies. And we do recommend, I again am stitching this out on a wash away stabilizer. It will work on any other stabilizer, but you want it to be freestanding and nicely removable. So thank you so much for jumping in and asking us questions. We are loving to hear you come through. We do want to interact with you. Again, this collection here is Butterfly Lace Garland. That links, or excuse me, Lace Butterfly Garland. That link is in the comments as well. So we have our 2 layers here, you can see. our 7511 needle, nice and hooped. Everything is threaded, and this is just a standard polyester thread that I have here. So I got that happy little song that I love to hear, and I'm sure I'm a lot louder now. So this is finished embroidery. Now this particular design, and every design we include in the back of the tutorial, whether it's in all access or just by itself, every design will tell you the sizes it comes in and how many stitches it has. So I know that might be a weird angle, but you can see here there are the sizes. There we go, the sizes, and then it also shows you dimension and then the stitch count. So we always want to show you exactly the stitch count there and the sizes. That way you know what you're getting into. Now the one that I chose to stitch today is about 10,000 stitches, 10,056, and it only took a few minutes to stitch out. So I'm very excited it is finished. I will go ahead and remove my hoop from my machine, and let's hold that up so we can see. Beautiful little butterfly in this nice kind of cantaloupe corally color. The back matches the front. Yippee. So now I'm ready to go ahead and unhoop. I don't know if I can do this exactly on camera, but we're just gonna pop it out of the hoop. Now once it's out of the hoop, you have two pieces. Again, we use our 2 pieces stabilizer. You can see those here. You can see where we matched our bobbin. Front and back are the same. Now what I like to do before I rinse this out, I have my 2 layers, and I don't want all this gooey stuff to be all over the place. So I'm going to recommend that you take some scissors or whatever you like to trim with and cut away some of this excess stabilizer. Now I know some of you folks are crafty and have a good use for this excess stabilizer, or maybe it's big enough to use for another project. Absolutely, you can put that to the side, but I'm going to trim all the way around. It's really hard to cut on camera. I promise you're not missing anything. I'm just trimming really close to the edge. Don't want to get too close. Don't want to cut my butterfly. Trimming away the excess right before I rinse it out. That's fine. So here he is. It's not trimmed beautifully because all this is going to go away very shortly. Now I have, hopefully it's still warm, I have a bowl. Normally I would not put water this close to a machine, but I have a bowl of warm water that I'm going to kind of dip this little butterfly in, and then the warmer the better. You just want to dip it right in, and hopefully my water's warm enough. There you go. You can see how that stabilizer just disappears. See how it's gone on that wing? Just dip it in, rinse it around. Now, if you have a larger design that has a lot of lace and a lot of stabilizer, sometimes a drop of OxyClean or Dawn or some other type of solvent in that water can be really good to keep it from getting too sticky. And I do want to give you a tip or two about washing out your design. Now, when you go to rinse it out, this one is not too big, so it's fairly easy, fairly simple to remove all the stabilizer from quickly. Now I'm going to keep it from ripping here. So you have your stabilizer pretty well gone. You can feel it because it's a little bit sticky. If you want a stiffer finish and you want your butterfly to be very stiff, leave some of that sticky in. It will dry and it will not stay sticky. If you want it to be a little more flexible, make sure you continue rinsing until there's no more sticky, no more stabilizer left in there at all. Now, another important thing, sorry, it's dripping on me. Another important thing to do is your positioning. Now, if you leave your butterfly like this, your butterfly is going to want to stay this way. It's just like when you pull something out of the washing machine or the dryer. If you leave it in a ball, it's going to default back to that little ball. Now for the butterflies, sometimes a more close look can make it look like it's in flight. So that's definitely an option to consider. But for any other lace or for the larger pieces, I recommend laying them flat if you want them to be flat. So I would place them on somewhere nice and flat, maybe on a towel or a drying mat, whatever you have to lay them out. At work here, we have a little heating board that we kind of lay everything out on and just leave it be until it's dry. Now, some things will dry faster than others, but we try to leave them alone about 24 hours so they're not sticky or wet. And you do want to make sure that they are in a nice, safe, clean place so they don't get anything fuzzy stuck to them. Let's see. I have some more people that are making some great comments. Hello, if you're just now joining us, please feel free to come on in at any time. Again, some tips that we've been giving out, and we'll make sure we mention some more as well. We suggest using our lovely wash away stabilizer for this. We've got our beautiful butterfly. Now I'm going to let this one dry, and I will pull out his little cousin here. Well, thanks, Lauren. Lauren has brought me some paper towels so this little guy won't drip on anything. Teamwork is the best, right? We all need our stitching buddy.
Is now a good time to give away a prize?
I think now is a good time to give away a prize. Okay. So let me grab something. We're going to have a new word. Here comes another. What should our word be this time? This time I have fashion explosion. Maybe I'll just turn it around because it's nice and big. This is an awesome collection, and this collection has a variety of patches. So your word this time, if you're interested in this prize, type in patch, P-A-T-C-H, and this can be yours. This is the printed edition. There is a book, there is a disc, so make sure you type in the word patch, P-A-T-C-H. Patch is your word. Oh, there they come. I see a lot of patches popping up. Mm-hmm. We have a patch explosion right now. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
There was a question, it passed already though. Could you make the butterflies three-dimensional by sewing one flat and one kind of up to make them?
I'd like to see somebody try that. I have not personally tried that, but if you do happen to try that, please share that with us on our social media. If you wanted to make that 3D, the butterfly, someone asked if they could sew one flat and maybe one moving. Sure, absolutely. We love to see experiments. Try that and share the results with us. Haven't tried it? Love to see it. All right, who's our patch winner going to be? Let's see. Give it a couple more seconds to win this fabulous fashion explosion.
Susan Clark.
Susan Clark, it's you. Susan Clark, this is your collection. Make sure you check those messages. We'll be in touch with you shortly, Susan Clark. And if it wasn't you this time, don't worry. I have some more goodies. Stay tuned. So Susan, congrats. I'll put this to the side. It'll be nice and ready for you. I did see someone mention about drying on a silicone drying mat. That is a great idea. For this one, I just didn't want it to drip on our table anymore. They work pretty well on a paper towel, but very good distinction. I don't think I would put it on a terry cloth towel in case it gets the fuzzies. So thank you so much for sharing that silicone drying match. That's a great idea.
And then will you, before you get started on your project, will you just quickly explain that there's two different projects that you showed from Butterfly?
Absolutely. I do want to clarify, Lauren just reminded me that I have shown two collections. So I wanted to clarify because I have some people that are joining, make sure we all hear the same thing. So the collection that we just stitched from is Lace Butterfly Garland. These are 3D or beautiful freestanding lace butterflies, and they come in several different sizes. We have a variety of different colors, and that's that beautiful orangey kind of coral color that we just stitched. And yes, I saw someone ask, you will notice the water, of course, makes the thread look darker. It will go back and dry back to the same color that we stitched out. So that is coming. All right, and the second collection, the big super crazy sale that's just for today that I mentioned, this is Butterflies Special Edition. Came out in 2018 in All Access, and these are some fabulous, realistic butterflies. So this is an extra special treat for people who are attending today. It is half off, just $50 instead of $100. This collection is gorgeous. This is a tiny, tiny sample of the butterflies that are in this collection. They are amazing. I wanted you to be able to see these. We do them on a sports twill or kind of a more thicker material, and they are gorgeous. If you're familiar with our owner and our founder, Stephen Wilson, he has some very similar butterflies that he uses in his fine art collections, and these are just amazing. They also have some smaller accent butterflies that are great to mix and match with this collection, so they can be used for a variety of projects. And in that special edition, we do walk you through a lot of things you can do. So just like this lace butterfly garland, we always give you ideas and tips and tricks. I wanted to show you too, before I get started on putting the garland together, I had in office, we had a few extras, and we just attached them to a little piece of foam, little paper clip, and now they become little standers. Now, if you wanted it to be permanent, you would of course use something a little heavier than foam. But you could attach these using, some wire. This is literally just a paper clip that we bent and did into a spiral. You could even put these onto a wall. You can do all kinds of things with this lace butterfly garland. So you can do some beautiful things with these butterflies. So the next thing, let me clean up my spot, get my good space. The next thing I want to show you is how we put together our lace butterfly garlands. Now I need a few simple supplies, nothing big. I am grabbing a ruler. I like this one because I can actually see the big numbers. Grabbing a ruler just so I can measure my length. I am grabbing some fishing line. Now you don't have to use this. We wanted ours clear. This is literally Zebco. That is a fishing company. This is truly fishing line. You can use any kind of monofilament or twine or cord. You can use just about anything that you wanted to string it on. We thought it would be extra interesting if it was clear, so this is what we had handy. Now this one is 30-pound weight, so about 1/4 inch in diameter. No, that's not right. I don't know what that means. Ignore that. But it has a fairly wide diameter as opposed to monofilament. It's fairly thick. I know it's clear, so you probably cannot really see that, but it is not teeny tiny. We wanted to use one that's heavier. That way it can deal with multiple butterflies. So we don't want it to droop too much. We want it to have some stability. So when you're using, if like us, you use this thicker line or thicker twine, you want to make sure that you find a needle for stringing these that is fairly thick. So this one has a larger eye. It came out of a hand embroidery set, and that's just the easiest thing for me to use. And of course I have my pincushion so I don't stab myself with my needle. Now, in this tutorial, we talk about the dimensions and the length of cording that we use. What really is important, and my favorite thing about these tutorials, we give you our recipe. We give you our guide. Every month in All Access, we tell you what we did. Now, you can use that and go from letter A through letter Z, or however far they go, and you can follow exactly what we did. Or you have your absolute own options to take that inspiration and run with it. And as a lot of you creative ladies and gentlemen are, I know that you are creative and will use these designs and these tutorials for inspiration. Thank you to whomever liked my pincushion. This is from one of our quilt blocks that we have released. It is an older quilt block, and it is just some scrap fabric that I had handy. So it is my helper. So the first thing I'll do, we tell you in our tutorial again what we used. Let me turn to the right page. So we've gone through, if you happen to be following along, I know a few of you are, we have stitched all the way out. We rinsed our butterfly, that's step G on 151, and then we have laid it flat to dry. We are pretending it is dry, and I'm going to use some that I already have up here. Let me grab one more. So we're going to string our butterflies. Now, we tell you a little bit again about what we did and our measurement. So for this large garland, let me pick it up, we used 11 butterflies. So we wanted to give them about 4 inches of movement space. It's pretty big. So you don't have to give them that much space, but we gave them 4 inches of allowance between each other. And you can see some, you can see some are closer together than others because they are flipping and floating and flying through. But the reason we do that, just like fabric or seam allowance, you can always trim it later if you need to, but it's hard to add it back in a moment. So again, we gave them about 4 inches apiece. So 11 times 4, we did 44. I'm not going to cut quite that much for now because I just want to show you a couple together. But all you need to do, of course, is take your lovely ruler. Isn't that nice? I can see those numbers and measure it out. Unless you're one of those people that likes to eyeball it. That's okay too. This is your recipe. So you'll get your length that you prefer. I'm going to double this back. I'm sorry if you can't see it. It's a clear ruler and clear monofilament. Then once you have your desired length, you of course will trim and then set the rest of it to the side. So when you have your monofilament, now if you use the same type of cording that we did here, it's a little slippery. That's okay. You may want to try and straighten it out a little bit first before you get started. That way it doesn't curl up on you too much. Now what I like to do is you'll start just like it tells you. You'll make a knot a couple inches from the end. 4 or 5 inches is about good for your hanging allowance. You do need to remember to leave some on the end because you have to hang it up somehow. Now we just tied a knot a couple of inches in. I know that's impossible again to see. Clear string here. And then I will take the other end and I'll just thread my large needle. So I will tell you, with this monofilament, this fishing line, let's quit being fancy. This is fishing line here. With this fishing line, it may try to slide out of your needle. That's okay. Just hold on. You'll be all right. You'll grab your first butterfly. And then if you're going to make a pattern and you have a variety of colors or shapes or sizes, you might want to lay your pattern out first. So I have some on the original over here. You can see I have some that I've laid out flat. I've stitched them on flat. I stitched through the body of a couple more. That way they are looking to be going a different direction. And they are moving all over the place. So there is no wrong way to do this. Whichever direction you want your butterfly to go and however you can best get it stitched on, you're right. And the only one that'll know is you. So very simply, let me get on camera. You'll take your needle and you'll want to go right through the body. If you want it up top and flat, you'll just stitch right through. So it may take a little pull if you have a big needle. You'll just stitch it right through, almost like stringing beads if you've ever strung beads, and you'll stop right when it gets to that knot. How easy is that, right? Then on the other side, you can leave it some wiggle room if you want it to dance around, or you can tie the knot right there beside it. Now, for me personally, I prefer to tie a double knot right here. That way everything is nice and sturdy, and it's not going to keep moving. And of course, just like I told you, it came unthreaded, but that's okay. Not a big deal. So you'll tie your knot. That way everything is nice and secure. Let me get right where you can see. So sorry. All right, so there's a knot over here. There's a knot securing it on, and now it'll be able to move back and forth. Now I've tied this one closely, so it can't go very far. If you don't like the way that it is moving and it is going a direction you don't care for, untie that knot or try the opposite direction. For me, I just wasn't holding it right, and now it's going the right way. So remember, the way you turn your garland is the way those butterflies are going to fly, but don't be afraid to do them differently. These beautiful, beautiful butterflies are so easy to stitch, and they are super, super great to attach and to put together. And I've seen a couple of folks ask while we're going through, I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments, you absolutely can watch this later. If you missed it, if it's been freezing up, if for some reason your dog suddenly needs to go out and the phone rings, like my life, you can absolutely watch this again as many times as you desire.
Oh, Miss Carol's loving you, Drea. She thinks you're a great
hi,
teacher.
Miss Carol. Thank you so much. I've seen a lot of nice, kind comments today. I appreciate you. Good to be here. So I have another butterfly here, and I'm going to see if I can stitch this one on the same way. Now, this is one of my cheat butterflies. His bobbin is not the same. Don't judge. Everyone's beautiful. So we'll put it through just like last time. I'm going to stitch through that body. Remember, I already tied my knot after the other butterfly. You'll pull straight through, just like stringing beads. And then where it stops is up to you. You can go close. You can go far. You'll just tie another knot. Is that not the easiest thing? It looks so delicate and complicated, and it absolutely isn't. Now I have 2 butterflies that are nice and strung together on my garland. So I think we have the concept here. Don't forget, you can take, if you happen to have that butterfly special edition, the one that's half off today, instead of 100, it's 50 on our website. Those beautiful realistic butterflies, you can get those today, half off, remember them. But there are also some really pretty one-color solid butterflies in there as well. And so I told you about that, so you can see those. So if you wanted to, you could absolutely include, got tangled, you can include these small butterflies into your garland too, or even some realistic ones. If you wanted to be crafty, you can absolutely include any type of butterfly, or maybe you wanted to include something different. So don't be afraid to customize your garland and add things that may be different to you. I want to show you this big one as well, so you can see some close-ups on how we added. Now for this butterfly here, I wanted it to look like its wings were more closed. So I don't know if you can quite see it, but I knotted it on normally, and then up here I went back and put in one more stitch That way it doesn't pull all the way apart. So there's one more clear stitch up here at the top. That way it doesn't pull all the way apart. This is just a regular butterfly that I knotted and tied on like you saw before. And then I stitched it a little more closed up top. This one, again, just like you saw, it's right beside it. This one I stitched more upside down. And so you can see a variety. I'm gonna hold it up more. You can see a nice variety of butterflies, and they will move some. That's the beauty of this project. If you leave some space in between those knots, in between the butterflies, they'll stop at the knot. So you can have a good variety of butterflies of all shapes and sizes. Would make a great table centerpiece. I totally agree. These would make a beautiful centerpiece. They're great ornaments. You could do them in holiday colors. You know, butterflies are year round. We may traditionally see them more in spring, but they'd be a great barrette or a brooch or a pin. They're just very beautiful creatures. And we want you to have a lot of fun with these fabulous lace designs. Now, I have a feeling it's prize time one more time.
We can do one more.
I have one more prize. Is that okay? Do we want one more prize? Yes, I think so.
Oh, our friends are excited already.
Okay. Here it comes. Let me grab it. All right. Oh, you know what? Let's do go a holiday prize.
Ooh.
So these are so cute. They kind of make me hungry though. These are some gingerbread ornaments. I'm trying to give you a close up so you can see them. They are the cutest. So this lovely collection, gingerbread ornaments, can be yours by very, very quickly entering the word holiday. Holiday. Let's go. Where is it? Oh, there they come. Here come the holidays.
There we go.
So type in holiday in the comments if you are interested in this nice freebie. You have the tutorial, you have the disc, you have the designs. They will be all yours. Oh, there they come all at once. Holiday, holiday. I want to make sure you get your turn. One more big fabulous prize. I do have some other things to share with you. So who will it be? We'll give you a few more seconds. Holiday, holiday, holiday.
There we go. Just you, Drea.
All right.
All right. Miss Ann Hendricks.
Ann Hendricks. This is yours. So make sure that you are checking your messages on Facebook, and then we will be in touch with you very shortly. If you are one of our winners and you think you have not heard from us shortly after this, please, please give us a call or a buzz. We have probably tried to message you. We don't want you to miss it. So I do want to tell you about another goodie that's coming out that is not included in All Access. It is a special bonus that we're creating. And this is a calendar for next year, for 2021. So it is a physical calendar. It is print. If you've seen our Express project that has the mini wall calendar, this is not the same thing, completely different. So this one is not an All Access. It is for 2021, and you will get a physical printed calendar and some extra goodies. You know we always have some goodies coming with it. So you can pre-order this 2021 wall calendar. There are a couple dollars off, $5 off of it until the end of November. And it is $24.95 on our website. So you'll see that on there, pre-order. They are not quite all the way sent out. They're not quite done, but we are super, super close. Oh, I love it. Miss Cynthia said she's already ordered hers. Everybody needs a calendar. We're hoping 2021 is nice and joyful and has lots of embroidery and good things in it. And we want you to have a nice wall calendar and some goodies that go along with it. So check that out on our website, AnitaGoodDesign.com. You can check out more information about All Access if you want to know what that is. More information about this lovely lace butterfly garland. And don't forget, the lace butterfly garland and butterfly special edition are on sale. Today is the last day to get that crazy special good deal. Miss Dorothy, I can't wait for the next live show either. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us today. All you lovely ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being kind and kind to one another. And we hope that you have a great time today. We hope you've had a good day. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, our email is here, customerexperience@anita-gooddesign.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to see some of you in person and virtually very, very soon. Have a great, great rest of your day. And remember, you can definitely watch this again later. Thanks.